Davante Adams and his future. He requested a trade from the Raiders earlier this week rather. I'm going to lay out 5 teams. There are 5 teams I believe should be aggressive and go after Davante Adams, a guy who I still believe, is still a top 5 receiver in the league. I would argue top 3. He's just in the wrong situation. God bless Gardner Minshew, but he's not the answer in Vegas. There are 5 teams I've identified as, teams that should be on the phone right now. I should be on the phone 2 days ago. The minute this news broke about the Vegas Raiders, Adams saying requesting a trade and Raiders saying they would take some offers. I believe the report is that they want at least a second-round pick for him, which I think he's worth it. He's still young enough. He's still dominant enough. I think the teams who are probably a receiver away from getting over the top. My 5 teams. Now, the first 2 are pretty obvious. Okay, the first 2 teams are obvious for me. The New York Jets, obviously top of the line for me. A reunion, obviously, with Aaron Rodgers. Another guy that can take pressure off of Garrett Wilson, who's having a very sub-part of year thus far. You get him there. And the Jets are already all in anyway. People say, oh, the draft picks. No. You have Aaron Rodgers. You have this team. It's really a 2-year window, maybe a year, depending on how Rodgers feels after this year. But it's a 2-year window of this core. Go all in. These guys have won a Super Bowl since 1969. Come on now. He hasn't been to the AFC title game since 1999 or 98. So you're going all in, okay? Go for broke here at this point. You might as well go for broke. So the Jets should be the number 1 team, also in my opinion, on that phone trying to get him down. And especially if they lose to Minnesota this week in London, you damn right you have Aaron Rodgers on that phone trying to get a hold of Davante Adams to become a New York Jet. My second team on the list is another obvious one. And that's the Kansas City Chiefs. And for circumstantial reasons, why the Chiefs? They are banged the hell up. Okay, they're gonna lose another. Rasheed Rice, the best receiver, probably out for the year. There's been no discussion and there's no announcement as to how long he'll be out for. Definitely out this week, probably for the foreseeable future. That injury looked pretty bad on Sunday against the Chargers. He's probably gonna be out for close to the year, if anything. The Chiefs, getting them home with another weapon there. Now, the thing is, it's very doubtful what happened because the Raiders and Chiefs are massive rivals, and it's not very, kosher, when to call that, for teams or rivals to trade in the division. Which, by the way, I find that extremely overrated. Let me tell you why. You're still, in a lot of ways, hypothetically hurting the other team anyway. You're giving that team, or sorry, it's not giving that team. You're actually making that team less than as a result. Let me phrase this right. By making them give up assets, you're actually hypothetically weakening that team. So I find that storyline, honestly, about not trading in division, extremely overrated, in my opinion. Extremely overrated. If I'm the Chiefs, if I'm the Raiders, you could probably get a second round, and if you really try hard enough, you might get a first round for Davante Adams. If I'm the Chiefs, why not? Again, Pat Mahomes, stay on the gas. A chance to go 3-peat. This can actually make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm the Chiefs, I would definitely, go after Davante Adams. For this window, how long it has with this the core of Kelsey and Mahomes and Andy Reid, of course. Now, I have 3 more teams here. That may shock you guys. The third team here, Washington Commanders. Think about this. Washington Commanders now 3-1 in the division, NFC East. I don't know the cap situation necessarily, but I imagine it's fairly healthy. You have a rookie quarterback right now, Jane Daniels, who's having a phenomenal year thus far. How about you add to that roster? How about you go for broke at this point in the short term? It won't cost you much. A third rounder, second rounder for a guy like that, Davante Adams, who can still probably have at least another 3 years in the tank of being a top guy. Why not? And also, what you're doing there also is that you're actually taking the window of Jane Daniels' rookie contract and adding to it while you could now before they pay him a couple of years. So if I'm the Commanders, why not go for broke there? Why not? And I don't think going for broke, you could probably fetch a second or third rounder for him, honestly, and it's worth it. Who gives a crap? Draft picks are draft picks, and they're not anything until you know what you have. Why not? So I would go for that if I'm the Commanders at also too. My fourth team here, may shock some of you guys here. A reunion with the Green Bay Packers. Think about this now. The only reason Adams left was because Aaron Rodgers was in limbo about his future in Green Bay. Think about that. And obviously Rodgers did leave eventually a year later. But the Packers are in a good spot now. Young team, good roster. Jordan Love is ascending to be a top 10 quarterback in the league now. You add Davante Adams to that team that I've already said on record, and I'm saying it now, that I see them being in the NFC title game this coming January. Absolutely, you go after Davante Adams if you could. If you make the numbers work, obviously. So a Packers reunion, I would definitely sign for that. And my fifth team here, this may shock some of you guys too also, given their cap issues, but hear me out. And it's another division rival, the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, top 10 quarterback in the league. You add him to Justin Herbert, they're already thin as a receiver now. That's a lot of it due to the contracts and dead money in the cap. But if you can make it work out, and you add Justin Herbert, add Davante Adams to Justin Herbert in that squad with Jim Harbaugh, you already have now morphed this team to more of a ball control, run heavy squad. But you have the threat now of Davante Adams on the wing. That could be wonders. I think the Chargers are a really good team when healthy. They're going to be one of the teams I believe are going to be in a wild card situation when it's all said and done. You add Adams to the team. Why not? Why not? So Jets, Chiefs, Commanders, Packers, and Chargers, the 5 teams I believe are really good fits. There's a couple other teams I think could probably make a phone call. Atlanta Falcons maybe make a phone call. Maybe the Bucks. I'm thinking other teams that can use a receiver that's kind of in play that can pull over the top. Look at the teams like that. Look at teams like the Colts maybe can do that, something like that. The Buffalo Bills. What about Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills? That's another team I would look into that to Adams. So those are my 5 teams, though. Again, Jets, Chiefs, Commanders, Packers, and Chargers that should be making phone calls for the Davante Adams. All right, one last